Hi everyone. I'm going to just run through an attempt at doing your Macbeth assignment and perhaps giving you some tips about how to go about it. So I have a 4-step process here. First, understand the assignment, then choose a global issue. Hopefully you've done these first two and you've started some ideas, some note-taking, that you've written a lot into your portfolio already. Third, I would say frame the assignment. You might say outline the assignment. And fourth, actually write the assignment. So based on some of your ideas, I decided to look at the global issue of masculinity in the 21st century. So I'm calling it here Multiple Masculinities in Macbeth in the 21st Century. So this is both my topic and my global issue, really. Clearly, we're going through a phase right now as a global society where we are re-examining masculinity. This meets all the requirements for a global issue. It's something that we feel at a local level. It has global significance, etc. So I think it's a topic that fits well with Macbeth, and so I had to find a non-literary text as well, and it didn't take long actually. So I found a GQ magazine cover with Pharrell Williams on it called The New Masculinity Issue. Clearly that relates to my topic and my global issue, so I'm going to examine both Macbeth and this New Masculinity Issue, which is a combination of articles, interviews, and photographs. I'm using all that together as my non-literary body of work, a non-literary text, as it says in the guide. So I'm also explicitly explaining that the author is a collective authorship. It's the GQ team, including its editor-in-chief, Will Welch, and then, of course, Pharrell Williams himself, and then the photographer, Micaiah Carter. So I'm going to include a photograph and about 30 lines of text, or about 200 or 300 words of text from this magazine as my non-literary extract. I'm also going to choose an extract of about 35 lines from Macbeth. I think it's 36 lines, something like that. So I'm going to analyze both these extracts very carefully. So here's the non-literary extract. You can see it's both a cover photograph and some 3 paragraphs or so from the, I would call it the introductory essay introducing the entire magazine, but it's also sort of a manifesto about what this issue is about and why GQ magazine. GQ, of course, is a men's magazine. I think we know it. It's a standard bearer for men and fashion and masculinity, both American and internationally. It's found in countries all over the world. It's a very powerful magazine and piece about masculinity that has a global reach. And of course, Pharrell Williams is a global superstar as well. So this is, I feel that it's worthy of examination and that it's got something to say about this global issue. And one thing that you'll notice is on the lower left-hand corner of the photograph, an exploration of identity, culture, and style. Notice that these are some let's call them concepts that the IB feels are very important for us to investigate, so I feel like this is right up their alley. Remember, I am interested in this topic for sure, but I'm also trying to get marks here, so I'm going to try to choose a topic and an extract which the IB will think of as significant. And that's a bit risky, especially when you're in the pop culture realm, so I do feel like I better have a way of connecting this to the global issue and making sure that the examiner feels that my global issue is significant and that I've been reading the IB guide and following the guidelines and working on my portfolio, which I've been doing, following the instructions and the gist of what the IB wants. The IB wants me to examine things like identity and culture. So this is what I would call a sign or a signal to the examiner that I'm paying attention to what the IB course is about, what the language and literature course is about. Okay, then there's my extract from Macbeth. Most of it is from Act 1, Scene 7, where Lady Macbeth convinces him by challenging his manhood. Again, there's all kinds of references to masculinity and manhood here. And I think, you can see Macbeth himself saying, "I dare do all that may become a man." And of course, Lady Macbeth challenging him, "When you durst do it, then you were a man, and to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man." So clearly this is about masculinity as well. And so I'm making a connection between the extract that I'm choosing from my literary work and from my non-literary text. So that's an extract. This is an extract. I've got two extracts that I need to analyze, and in analyzing these extracts, I need to show that I understand the larger works. So the larger work, of course, is Macbeth. That's the literary work. And the larger work here is this combination of essays, interviews, and photographs from GQ magazine. So I'm trying to make a connection between both the extracts and the larger works around this global issue of masculinity and multiple masculinities. Let's just look and see real quick what I've got open here on my browser. So this is essentially my portfolio. I've been typing notes into my portfolio. I've been looking at things. I've got a bibliography here of all the things I've looked at in terms of the non-literary and, of course, Macbeth. Notice I've also given the exact edition of Macbeth that I'm using. That's important for the line numbers. These are some of the things I've been looking at. I've got some notes here. I started writing some stuff. So, this is I would say this is my portfolio together with what I've already shown you. I've been keeping lots of notes on all of this, and I'm pulling my assignment out of my portfolio. I've already written a lot of stuff, but now I need to focus it down and narrow it down and meet the word limit and meet the requirements of the assignment. Of course, I've also got the assignment up, and the assignment, I think it's important, of course, that you look at the assessment and the instructions coming from the teacher. So, I'm trying to do a 700 and 900 word analysis. Here are some of the things that I need to do when I'm analyzing both of these texts. I need to draw conclusions. That's important. Support my ideas. There's a lot of emphasis on analysis and evaluation. Of course, I need to use clear, accurate, and effective language, etc. So this is, I need to have a good, clear understanding of the assessment, and without a doubt, to understand the assessment, I need to know the rubric. Now, the rubric is 4 parts, 5 points each part. What I would look at is the highest band level. I want to get to the highest band level in each of these 4 parts, these 4 criteria. And, so what do I need to do? I need to demonstrate knowledge and understanding of both the extracts and the larger works. And I need to persuasively interpret the implications in relation to my global issue, which is multiple masculinities. And, I have to have references to the extracts. I need to continuously make references to the extracts. And they better be well chosen, and they better support my ideas. I need to analyze and evaluate the extracts. Again, references to the extracts. And I need to, both Macbeth and the non-literary work, they should be relevant and insightful. thorough and nuanced, and I have to look at how authorial choices are used to present the global issue. So these are the things I need to focus on. I think for me, focus and organization, I tend to write pretty well structured essays and stuff like that is going to be a little bit easier than the first two for me. I should mention that you have to have a clear and sustained focus on the task. I better warn myself not to get off topic, not to go off on tangents, which is one of the things I tend to do, both of the extracts and of the larger works. And I need to connect my ideas in a cogent manner. And of course, I need to use clear, accurate, and varied language. I need to understand, I need to write in an academic style. For me, I can clean up the essay after I've written it. I'll be able to get to the highest band in language. It's these first two bands that I need to keep an eye on, and especially I need to be aware of my own tendency to get off topic and not to stay focused on the text, but to go into a wider, larger discussion. So what I'm going to do now, before I actually start writing this, is I'm going to make some notes to myself, okay? So let's see what I mean by that. I'm now almost ready. Let's just see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to I understand the assignment. I feel like I've done that. I've chosen a global issue, these multiple masculinities. Now I want to frame the assignment before I actually start writing it. I want to have some idea in my mind about how I'm going to write it. What is the structure? I want to have either an outline or a framework, some framework that I can dump my content into. I want to have in my mind some idea. You could do this mentally, you could do it with a concept map, you could do it with an outline, but I want to have some idea, how am I going to structure this analysis? And so let's look at what I mean by that, okay? So this is what I'm calling my outline or my framework about how I'm going to write the essay or the analysis. I'm going to remind myself at the top, these are the things I need to do in order to get a good mark. I need to continuously refer to the text, to both texts. I need to interpret and analyze, not describe and summarize, but interpret and analyze. I need to interpret what is the meaning of these lines, of these texts, of these extracts that I'm analyzing. I don't want to just describe what's in there. I want to analyze what is the meaning, what is either underneath or between the subtext, the intertext. What do these lines really mean? I want to stay balanced. I could easily myself write 800 words on Macbeth or 800 words on the other non-literary text, the GQ magazine, so I have to remind myself to stay balanced between both the non-literary and the literary text. I need to remind myself to analyze authorial choices. Why have the authors included the words, the images that they've included, the style that they've included? So I'm going to write about 4 to 6 body paragraphs. Maybe I'll put about 2 or 3 on each. Maybe I'll have about 2 paragraphs on the non-literary text, the GQ magazine, and maybe about 2 paragraphs on Macbeth, and maybe about 1 paragraph comparing and contrasting. In the GQ text, I'm going to analyze both the text and the photograph. Remember, there's a lot to analyze here in this cover photograph. There are many photographs, but I'm going to analyze this one. I can see that this guy, Pharrell Williams, looks very confused about his masculinity. He's wearing some large lemon comforter dress. He's clearly suggesting some sort of androgynous manhood or masculinity or gender identity. So there's plenty to analyze there, including the text and the font and the capital letters and Pharrell only being one word, etc. So I'm going to try to do 1 paragraph maybe on the photograph and 1 paragraph on the text, and then I'm going to, of course, do 2 paragraphs on Macbeth. These 2 paragraphs what I'm going to try to do here is show that there's a greater power struggle, that Macbeth isn't really worried so much about his masculinity. GQ isn't really worried so much about the definition of masculinity, but these two examinations of masculinity indicate that there are larger power struggles going on in the societies that they represent. So Macbeth, he's got this issue with his wife. He's in a power struggle with his wife, and he's also in a power struggle over the kingdom and the crown of Scotland. So my argument and conclusion is a very important thing, to have a focus, have an argument that what are you trying to say? Here I'm trying to say that debates about masculinity reveal deeper conflicts and societal power struggles, that we're not really talking about masculinity here, that power is the issue. So of course I have an argument that's kind of contentious. People might want to argue with me. That's good. I might look at some counterexamples. I've already said what are the topic and the global issue. So now I feel like I've done, the 3 first steps. I've understood the assignment. I've chosen my global issue. I framed the assignment. I have some notes. I'm ready to write. Now it's time for me to start writing my assignment. Okay, I hope that's helpful, and if time allows, I may actually write it or make a new video about me writing it, or present it after I've written it or as I'm getting close to finishing it. So I hope that's helpful, and good luck with your assignment.